the reason why I signed up is because I wasn't quite sure how to tap into those government corporate gigs for speaking. And Jamie says there is a lot of work there. So, yeah, thanks to Paid to Speak and Jamie's, excellent course. I have a pretty epic speaking kit now. It's all on my website. I'm very confident in what I offer. And, I had a really exciting gig this week at a music university teaching marketing branding for musicians and had some excellent feedback. So if you are thinking about signing up to Paid to Speak, please do not hesitate. And by the way, if you're wondering, where is she? I've been walking my cat.
I just want to say a big thank you to Jamie Abbott. I'm currently doing her Paid to Speak course, and it has gone and above my expectations and thoughts of what that was going to create for me. So she has created a course that is packed full of value. Any module I do, any questions that come up, they are just answered in the next few modules. So each module that I do, I'm just astounded continuously at the value that she has packed full of there. So I'm very grateful and enjoying it thoroughly, and I look forward to speaking more on stage with her tips and tools and strategies that she's given me in the course. So thank you, Jamie. Mwah.
I've been a member of Jamie Abbott's Paid to Speak course for about 12 months now. What I'm loving about the course is that it is so easy to follow. It is all set out step by step, very, very clear and concise. And when you don't have much of a clue where to start with the public speaking space, then that's really needed, because otherwise you get lost and confused as to where you're at. So I love that everything is there. It's all in one place. I just have learned so much about messaging, how to be concise, how to just share 3 things, and how to just really connect with your audience, like all the missing pieces that you need when you're public speaking.
Just do it. Do it. Don't think about it.
Do it without question. Don't think about it. Just jump in and do it. The course was fabulous.
And it's absolutely fabulous.
Even if you're not looking to do paid speaking gigs, you will end up a better, more confident speaker.
Paid to Speak for me really gave me an insight on how I can utilise my skills.
It's much more interesting to people. It's straight to the point. It definitely secured my business, which is what obviously my goal is.
Paid to Speak for me, my business, I had gone out as a lead agent, so I had absolutely no listings at the time, and in the last 3 months I've obviously got you said that it was still, things been good.
It was the best course I could have done, and I would highly recommend it. Book in today.
Certainly sign up, because you'll be doing yourself the best favour ever.
Well, good evening here from Jamaica. Good morning for those of you back in Australia. Welcome to the final day of Speak and Earn. Type into the chat how you're feeling right now. Are you feeling psyched? Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling inspired? Would love to know. I've been running around today here in Jamaica. I've been living here since October last year, working for the UN, and I fly out tomorrow back home to Australia. So I've had to pack up my entire house, sell my car. I've got a car here in the last couple of days, and I've got to be at the airport at 4 a.m. and it's now 6:30 p.m. So this is the first time I have been able to sit down and just breathe and relax. And it's so great to see so many of your smiling faces here today. Everyone's excited. I love it. So welcome, Joe. Welcome, Alice. This is going to blow your mind. Now, I know some of you have actually, this is, I think, the second time I've seen a few of you from my last round of the Speak and Earn Challenge, because this one in particular is the best day. You're going to want to go off when I'm going to show you some of these things, and you're going to want to start exploring and finding gigs. Bear with me. This is recorded, and the recording will be placed onto the Facebook group, and I will remove them on Monday. So you can watch them over the weekend, over the next couple of days. And don't forget, 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, so Sydney time tonight, is the cutoff if you want to join Paid to Speak. Welcome to all of you who have joined, and welcome to some of our alumni. I can see Aldwin's on the call today. She is a Paid to Speak past course member. And you can jump in and get the corporate training proposal template, which I'm going to show you today how we use that. So 6 p.m. and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. And also thank you so much to those of you who are sharing in the Facebook group your one sheets. All right, so you also get over 1,000 media contacts. I didn't mention that the last couple of days. You get the 40 Canva templates that you can use to promote anything from a podcast, an ebook, a course, your services. You get over 1,000 Australian media contacts, and you also get the corporate training proposal template as well. Wow, how relaxed you look. I was not relaxed all day. I actually went and got the car detail, and they took 3 hours, and the guy at the car wash lost the keys, and it had my house keys on there. So that was very stressful, but I am feeling very relaxed now. And I've got 4 suitcases all weighing 31 kilos, all ready to go. The last thing I need to put in there is the computer monitor, which I'm seeing all your faces on right now. And then I'm pretty much ready to go. Yes, it is warm where I am. So right now it's 28 degrees Celsius here in Kingston, Jamaica, and it's 6:35 p.m. at night. So someone just sent me a message. They've missed day 2. It's in the Facebook group. So the recordings from day 1 on Monday, day 2 Tuesday, and then today will be uploaded. Their first 2 days are already there in the Facebook group. And so I will remove those on Monday evening. So feel free to have a look. Oh, Beck said it's 9 degrees. I'm assuming you're in Mudgee, Rebecca. Yeah, don't miss the Central West, Northwest areas where I used to live when it's, Armidale, Guyra, those areas in Northwest. In New South Wales is very, very cold, but I know Mudgee would be cold as well. Oh, wow. It was about 5 degrees Celsius when we went for a beach walk this morning on the Sunshine Coast, Mel. Gosh, that's unlike Queensland to get down that low. All right, let's get into it because I've got a lot of cool stuff to show you. So here we are. We're going to talk about how to find highly paid speaking gigs today. Right, so I'm going to give you a couple of really easy, low-hanging fruit opportunities to find paid speaking gigs. Now, I'm going to have one. Can someone just make sure they mute? I think, Shara, if you're on the call, I think it's Josephine. I'll mute her. Some of these things you're just going to go, wow, I want to do this right away. Stay with me because the best will be towards the end as far as being able to find anyone's email address from any company. As long as they have a LinkedIn profile, we can get their email address and we can find who they are, what they do, and reach the key decision makers. I do have one limitation here in Jamaica on one of these techniques I'm going to show you. So I will verbally talk you through it, but it's quite an easy strategy. So the first thing I'm going to show you is hashtags. This is something which a lot of people don't know about, but I have scored some incredible speaking gigs through hashtag searches. These are just some examples of the hashtags, but you could probably even see speakers apply or call for leadership speakers. So you can actually do a hashtag search on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and on Instagram. And there'll be different ones for all of them. Sometimes on LinkedIn, you won't find as many, but when you do, it is gold. And what is there today may not have been there yesterday. So some paid. I did one for a bunch of musicians in New York, actually a couple of jazz musicians specifically. No, they weren't even just in New York, but the lady who ran it was in New York. The musicians were from all over the world, including Japan. But I found that through a hashtag search on Instagram, actually, call for speakers. So get into the habit of checking it. As I said, what is there today may not have been there yesterday or might not be there tomorrow. So what you can do is just set yourself a calendar reminder and regularly do this. So even once every 2 weeks, perhaps, you could also get a VA to do this, to go through and just do a hashtag search for you. So I would highly recommend you get into the habit of just seeing what's out there. Don't go and do the hashtag search yet because, you're going to get lost and you're going to be really distracted because there are some gold nuggets in there. And as I said, you just want to keep getting into the habit of doing that. So there's a question here from someone. I'm going to answer this question today, actually. So I won't read it out. Don't worry. We're going to focus on the question was, I suggested to contact CEOs directly. Are there any other professional staff to contact in places such as banks? Yep. So I'm going to really focus on that today. So don't worry. Hi, Auburn from the Gold Coast. I was just saying one of my proud Paid to Speak alumni members. I think you were one of the first to jump into Paid to Speak back in 2022 from memory. So welcome. Great to see you here. All right, yeah, you were a good memory then. Great. All right, so the other thing we're going to do is we're going to do a search on Google. Now, let me give you a demonstration on how to do this. So where we just go to Google, there's all different sort of opportunities you could type in. Let's just say we want to go call for speakers, Sydney. Actually, no, I'm going to just go speakers wanted. Now, you'll see some ads in the first, and what comes up on my screen will be different to what comes up on yours because I'm in Jamaica and some weird things happen, including captions being removed on Instagram. So you go through a couple of sponsored posts. So actually, we might even go speakers wanted Sydney conference. And you could type in all different things here. I could type in Speakers Wanted Sydney Conference 2024. We could type in Leadership Speakers Wanted, Mental Health and Wellbeing. So go past the different sponsored posts and then you can see some gold nuggets here. If you're interested in applying to this particular conference as an industry speaker, and they'll have a form for you there. Now, sometimes they'll come up with a list of speakers. Now, we'll talk about that in a moment when there's already speakers there, but let me just go down the list here. So we've got some more. There's guest speaking opportunities for Women's Network Australia. Be a speaker at an event. That one is passed. You might want to try 2025 and then keep going. Having a look. Here's another one here. That one's got speakers. 2024 conference speaker registration. Now, I've just typed in Sydney, mind you. So you could type in Melbourne, London, anywhere you want to go. Let's just say we want to try speakers apply. So you might get different results doing this as well. Let's have a look. And sometimes speakers application. There's that similar one there as well. So let's have a look. So you could actually get a virtual assistant to do this for you as well. So look at that. DigiMarcon Australia 2024. That is a cool one. Perhaps some marketing people without knowing much about that event. So here's another one. Open Dialogue Centre, conference speaker registration. And of course, I've just typed in speakers. I haven't typed in any particular industry here. So you will be amazed at what comes up here. Now, the other thing is when it says these are our speaker lineup, don't be afraid to still contact the organizer, particularly if you've got a competitor there or someone in your industry, or it's an event where you think, wow, these speakers are going to draw in my ideal customer avatar. And so in that situation, still apply because you never know. One, sometimes speakers fall ill or they can't make it for whatever reason and they need backup speakers. And two, often these events are regularly happening, so every year. So you might have missed the cutoff and they've already announced their speakers, but they'll keep you on file for next year. So it's still a great idea to contact them and apply. But, you know, you're going to find these ones directly. And once again, you could type in health, finance, real estate, leadership, anything like that, marketing, and you get some more specific results there as well. So question from Mel, in your experience, what portion of these will pay for speakers? Huge portion. So the conference speakers, absolutely. If they don't allow you, and this is what I cover in Paid to Speak, I say if they say we're not going to pay you and have a speaker's budget, I actually give you step-by-step instructions on what to say to have that discussion, because sometimes you can negotiate. There was one that I did on the Central Coast in New South Wales a couple of months ago, and it was like a little Chamber of Commerce type organisation, and they said, we don't have a speaker budget. So what I said to them, I said, how many people do you normally get to these events? And Central Coast is only an hour from my house, and I wanted to get in front of these business owners because they're my ideal clients to buy my course or to engage in coaching sessions with me. So I know whatever I charge, I'm going to make more as well. And they said, we normally get about 100 people to 150 people. And I said, great, let's add $10 to the ticket price. And if we get 100 people, that's my $1,000 speaker fee covered. And what actually happened was they had about 180 people. So they made even more money by using me as a draw card. I sold 3 coaching sessions. That was another 2,700. And it was just down the road. I got to go to Westfield Tuggerah and have a bit of a shop as well. So you can have those kind of conversations. There's also... Someone went off mute then. It was quite loud. There's also a checklist of what I can give you on if they do say we have zero budget for speakers. I give you a checklist in the course of all the things you can ask for in return. And that's everything from the opportunity to film to the opportunity to get testimonials from the audience and then to also pitch. And pitching might not be necessarily, I've got a course open at the moment. It might be, hey guys, I've got a free thing I want to give you. And you're getting those people in the audience onto your email list. The other thing I want to tell you about, which I have a limitation here in Jamaica, it's so strange. It's a new thing. It's been out for about probably less than 12 months now, and it's called Google Events. So to find it, it's not going to come up on here, but on your computer, if you're in Australia, you should have no trouble. When you type in Google Events, it's going to bring up a little menu here where you can actually type in the location or anything like that. But click on when you go to here, you want to click on the Google Events heading that comes up. And then it's going to bring up like a whole different sort of search engine format. And this is what I regularly do when I'm back in Australia. I will type in London conference, and you can actually search, you go August, because I knew I was going in August last year, and it will give you a whole range of events coming up in that location and in that particular date. It is very, very good. I get a lot of speaking gigs from Google Events. There'll be things on there that you haven't heard of. You may have gone to some of these events years ago and forgotten about them, but Google Events is a really incredible, powerful, useful tool for you, because we're all professional speakers now. We're entering that realm. Get yourself a reminder to go and check Google Events, or just dream big. Think, I want to go to Singapore. I want to go to Dubai. Use Google Events and type in what events are coming up, and then apply as a speaker. Conferences do have budgets for speakers. This is where you want to start pushing yourself into the corporates and to the conferences, because they are charging a couple of $1,000s per delegate. And, you know, you have to ask yourself, if they actually say to me, I have zero budget, sometimes they're just saying that. You can negotiate, but then also think, well, there's going to be 500 people in the audience that are my ideal customers. I know I'm going to, it's not about getting free exposure anymore. I know I'm going to be able to pitch to them and sell. I think I mentioned this. I'm not sure if I mentioned it on day one, but I might have the Hunter Business Women's Network. I spoke there in November 2022. I spoke for free, and I walked off with $27,000 in client sales, some directly. They booked coaching sessions. Some jumped in to pay to speak because I had it open at the time. And then others engaged me on retainers for ongoing public speaking training. So $27,000 was more than I would have got if I charged them a speaker fee, no matter how big they were at the time. So very, very a good thing to keep in mind there. So that's Google Events. Let me come back up here. And so typing in all different combinations and just start thinking laterally. So speakers apply, speakers wanted, and then the location, your particular topic area, and have a lot of fun with that. But like I said, you can actually outsource this to a VA who can do this for you, or just do it yourself, you know, because you're going to know if that's the sort of event that you want to be seen at. Now, another thing is, which people often overlook, they forget about past clients, and even myself. Past clients have already worked with you. You're a known factor to them. Reach out to them. Say, look, you know, I'm now speaking. I presented a couple of years ago. I know I ran a workshop or I did some work with you. Might be a former employer, for example. Think you want to pitch to them and say, look, I'm now a professional speaker and I would love to just reach out and see if you have any opportunities so I can get in front of your audience. Yes, the recordings are placed into the Facebook group. So when you join the Facebook group, that's where the recordings will be put up from today, and the other two are in there as well. So hopefully you're in the Facebook group. The link was in your email. But if you need me to find it again, I can retype it at the end. But hopefully if you're already in the Facebook group, you can see the recordings. Also, Facebook groups are gold as far as adding value. So for the women in the group, if you're not in the Facebook group, like-minded bitches who drink wine, you need to get in there because it is an incredible group of entrepreneurs, wannabe entrepreneurs who are always asking questions about anything, which you can provide some helpful answers. Not only that, I just got tagged actually literally before I jumped on the call. Somebody asked, does anyone know anyone who can do presentation training? I think a couple of you on this Zoom call actually recommended me. Yeah, so someone said, anyone know anyone who does professional speaker training? And then 1 million people have tagged me. That was about 15 minutes ago. But also I use those groups, not just those groups, so other Facebook groups. So you could type in Entrepreneurs Australia, Small Business Owners Australia, Accountants Australia, and start joining these groups. And then what happens is people will ask questions about anything. and your whole goal is to be helpful and say, here's actually a video I recorded on this topic, or here's a blog I recorded on this topic, or answer the question. Say, look, I am a speaker, leadership coach in this space. Here's my advice. I'm more than happy to have a chat to you at any time. And so just by being helpful, it comes back to that value sell. It's incredible how many speaking gigs I've picked up just from answering questions in Facebook groups. I'm in them all. I'm probably in about 800 Facebook groups. Some I don't even remember joining, but I'm always thinking about where my ideal corporate clients are hanging out, what groups they're in, and that's where I want to be. So if there's any recommendation, I can recommend myself, or someone will tag me, or I'm always just being helpful and giving advice on how to manage nerves and fears in speaking, for example. And you could do that too. So it's not about pitching. So definitely you don't want to pitch. So I haven't mentioned pitching at all there, Alice. So it's about being helpful and providing advice and answering questions and really positioning yourself as a subject matter expert. And then people will go to your Facebook profile and check you out. And if they want to work with you, they would do that. Because if you do pitch in these Facebook groups, sometimes they say if you DM you, they'll remove it, but that's still fine. You can still sort of say, this is what I do. Here's my advice. Happy to chat to you further in the future. And people will look you up. So that often happens. I will respond in a Facebook group and say, here are my tips to manage nerves and fears, or here are my tips to present on stage. And then people will go to they click on my profile and then they'll contact me anyway. So as long as you are so you're help, offering value, it's just cementing yourself as a subject matter expert in your field. Yeah. So thanks for clarifying that. But then, other people can recommend you as well. People are always going, anyone know a great accountant? Anyone know a great speaker? Anyone know any podcast guests? All that sort of thing. And that's where you can nominate yourself without being blatantly pitching. And, different groups have different rules too. Some don't even allow links, but others, provide the opportunity for you to put links to your website or anything like that. All right. So now I want to talk about, before we get into the juicy stuff about how to find people's email address, I just want to take you through, I think it's the top 6 industries. 6, I think I put in here, that are going to be your bread and butter for you to start targeting. This is, my experience, and in the last couple of rounds of Paid to Speak, this is where people are getting the gigs. So you might want to start directing yourself to these industries. So the first one is finance. So this is everything from the big banks to credit unions to superannuation, out of insurance industry, any sort of finance role. They have big budgets. And they are often organising events, or they've got professional development budgets. I do a lot of speaking in this space. Macquarie Bank is one of the people that I successfully pitched to, and for those of you who are joining Paid to Speak, you're going to get a copy of the exact proposal, word for word, the Canva template and everything that I use to pitch to them. And so you can just kind of copy and paste that, ChatGPT it, whoever you're targeting, whichever organisation, which I'm going to show you how to do that soon. But that's something that I'm offering anyone from up until 6 p.m. today who joins the course. The second one is health. And this has been an eye-opener for me. I get a lot of work in this space, and it's everything from the federal government Department of Health, so Federal Department of Health, to New South Wales, Queensland Health, as well. And I know actually there's someone on the call, won't name her, but she went through my course. There's a couple of you actually. And Queensland Health, she scored a $5,000 speaking gig the next week or something after she joined Paid to Speak. And that's a department where people wouldn't have thought to target. Now also with Paid to Speak, I give you a copy of every single federal and state government department, because they are often overlooked and they have huge budgets. State governments in particular have huge budgets for speakers and for workshop presenters and all that sort of thing for all different conferences. Yeah, mental health as well. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's one of the key topic areas that I talked about yesterday, Alice. So absolutely, also local hospitals and local area health services. So I mentioned yesterday about John Hunter Hospital in Newcastle. They got me in as a speaker to talk about having difficult conversations, managing nerves and fears, and really promoting your business. So really promoting I just got thrown by that ChatGPT question. I'll answer that in a moment. So yeah, they put me there, and it was someone I never would have targeted. The only reason I got the job was someone I knew worked there, and they were doing this series on helping others. And they said, we could get Jamie Abbott in to talk about public speaking skills. And then from there, it really opened my mind about hospitals. I started targeting Western Sydney hospitals and pitching to them. And I scored some more. So it all started from that big gig that I had at John Hunter Hospital, just opening my mind. I'm not a health speaker. But that doesn't matter. This is someone you can target who want someone who's going to entertain, inspire, and motivate them. So just with the ChatGPT question. So for example, I give you this template, and this is one here from Macquarie Group. So you can just punch in. So you could just copy and paste that, which is what I sent Macquarie Group, and punch into ChatGPT and say, I need to write a corporate proposal to deliver, and the more information you give it, the better, to deliver leadership coaching to Boeing, for example. Take this text, use similar format, but rewrite it to tailor to females that work at Boeing. And then it's going to really tailor the spiel to them. So that's what I mean by ChatGPTing it. So taking this and reworking it based on your particular company, or otherwise, a lot of people, when they've got paid to speak and they've got this bonus, they just copy and paste, this is what I use and you're welcome. That's, it's worked for me now for a number of large companies. And, this is something I'm happy to give away, because it's certainly made me tens of thousands of dollars just by doing this. But I'm going to get into that in a moment and show you what we do. And I have my VA helping me with that. So government departments looking for facilitators and presenters on things like workplace wellbeing. Also, they have agency networks like carers, disability, and LGBTIQA. Yeah, absolutely. State governments. I think when people do pay to speak, state governments are actually a really quick win as far as opening up people's minds. They never thought to actually target state governments and state departments. So it's really, really helpful there. All right. So moving along, that's health. Real estate. So they have the real estate, say for in New South Wales, for example, they have the Real Estate Institute of New South Wales, REI New South Wales. They also have every year on the Gold Coast, there's they just had it actually, a real estate conference, which is held every year on the Gold Coast. They need speakers. In fact, some of my marketing coaches over the years have spoken at that event, and they keep going back, time after time. But also real estate principals need speakers. So I do a lot of work with real estate agencies in the public speaking and social media, showing up and live and doing stories and reels. And it's the owners of the agencies who want a speaker. And it's often I'll go when they're in the Hunter Valley, for example, they're having a strategic planning day where they've got all their team away and they've got different speakers and presenters coming in, and they need someone just to entertain. And there is money there for that, particularly if you're a speaker that's going to give them a return on their investment, and their agents are going to perform better. Agents and admin staff, property management staff, everyone. The business sector, and this is everything from the New South Wales Business Chamber. I'm very New South Wales focused because I get most of my gigs from, Sydney and other New South Wales sort of clients, but everything from the big chambers to also local chambers of commerce. Now, some will pay when you have these discussions about you being a draw card and adding a bit of extra to the ticket price, but in many cases, it's like a golden goose. If you have the opportunity to be a speaker at a chamber, so there's Business Hunter is a large one in Newcastle, you are going to get follow-up work and follow-up speaking gigs. So look at it like that, because key decision makers, CEOs, training managers, HR managers, COOs, chief operating officers, general managers, board directors, they're attending these events, and they will, like you and think, I want to use you. I saw this great speaker at this business breakfast this morning. I think he or she could add some great value to our team here at XY company. And then education and training. So this is everything from Federal Department of Education to state departments of education. They can be, the only thing is I've had a few pay to speak alumni members get some gigs with, say, the New South Wales Department of Education, but they can in particular be very strict on their budget, but they do have speaker budgets. So do schools. as well. I've actually gone into some schools and done some LinkedIn training as a speaker. So even though I was running a workshop, I was pretty much just there speaking about the power of LinkedIn for year 11 and 12 students to start expanding their network and looking for jobs beyond year 12. So that's something you might want to consider. And also private colleges have got budgets for speakers where you go in and talk to students. I've never been paid when I speak at TAFEs. And I will do that just because I'm very passionate. I often speak it to PR students at the local TAFE. I've never ever had money from a TAFE. They might have budgets, but they just, in my experience, I haven't had that. I have from universities though, when they've put on a dinner or some sort of event and they've used me as a headline keynote speaker, I have received a couple of thousand as a speaker's fee. So, it's still just a matter of opening up your mind and pitching, because you just never know. Absolutely. For industry conferences, it's worth pitching topics like self-care. It's total hot topic at the moment, for sure. Because, burnout, people who are burnout experts and just, talking about self-care as well. It's a real hot topic. So it is definitely worth it. Oh, Josephine, number 4 was the business sector. Hopefully you got that there. And then number 6 is government. As I mentioned before, federal and state governments, not only federal and state governments, but also local governments, and not only council staff, but councillors. And I do a lot of work for Queensland councillors and mayors. Queensland councillors, and having been an ex-New South Wales councillor in Port Stephens, blows my mind, but Queensland councillors are full-time and they get a full-time salary. Whereas in New South Wales, it's more of a part-time role and they're definitely not paid a full-time salary. I'm sure Queensland councillors work longer hours, I assume they do, but they have big budgets to spend on one-on-one sessions of coaching. So I do a lot of that online, but also they'll have events, they'll have strategic planning meeting weekends where all the councillors and mayors get together, as well as local government staff as well. So yeah, it's definitely something not to scoff at with local governments, and you can go through and you can target your local councils and all that sort of thing. Huge opportunity there. But if you ask me what the level of government is that you're likely to get speaking gigs, just in my experience from the Paid to Speak alumni, I've had like 153 students now go through the course over the last 2 years. Majority of them are state governments, and they're messaging me all the time. I just got a gig with the Department of Planning. I just got a gig with the Department of Customer Service, things like that. So they have huge budgets there. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to get in to find anyone's email address and key decision makers. And we're going to use 2 tools today, LinkedIn, and another little Google extension that I'm going to talk to you about is hunter.io. I hope you're ready to have your mind blown. I know some of you have seen this before, and I think it still blows your mind, just the power of this. This is a free extension, so I'll just show you step by step what you need to do. You just type in, so there is a website called hunter.io. And when I first started doing this, I used that. Now you get 25 searches free a month. But once you get one company, everyone's email address is generally going to be the same, like john.smith@westpac.com.au. So it's going to be jamie.abbott@westpac.com.au. So therefore it's 25 companies, not 25 people. I've never paid for the version. So that's the email there. But what you want to do is you want to type in Hunter Chrome extension. This is a free Chrome extension which will live in your browser, on your browser. Oh, my computer has frozen. Let's let that catch up. And basically it will live, I'll show you what it looks like just on here. So what you're going to do, you're going to download this and it's going to live up here where Chrome, I use Google Chrome. You need Chrome for this to happen. So you click up here and this is where all my Chrome extensions are. And that's where it lives, Hunter, email finder. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take you through this slowly but thoroughly. So we are going to target companies and target key decision makers. And when I talk about key decision makers, I'm talking about people who are CEOs, but also admin assistants, training managers, human resource managers. These are decision makers who've been either tasked or want to book speakers for their corporate events. This is specifically companies I'm talking about now, and this is generally a lot of my bread and butter, when I'm not necessarily speaking at a conference on stage, especially I've been in Jamaica for the last 8 months, but corporate clients have got huge budgets. And sometimes you think, oh, you send the quote off, this is probably going to be scoffed at, it's too high. They come straight back and accept the quote. So get excited about that. So what we're going to do, I'm just about to show you, Alice, who these decision makers are. So I'm glad you're excited. So what we're going to do, let's just say we want to target Rio Tinto, big company. So we've downloaded our Hunter Chrome extension, which permanently will live here on our Chrome extensions. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can either type in Rio Tinto up here and then use the filters. Now, just remember, you can do this with the free version of LinkedIn, but you don't get as many searches. It'll come up saying you've used your searches for this month. So you might want to consider getting LinkedIn Premium. And with LinkedIn Premium, little tip, remember, you want to sign up to LinkedIn Learning, which is half the price of Premium, and they throw in Premium for free. So that's what I've done. And you pay annually and it's even cheaper. It's like less than $40 a month. Highly worth it, but you can, if you're starting out, use the free version, but just bear in mind you'll have a limit on the searches you can do. So what we're going to do, we're going to type in, let's just type in training manager. I was doing a search before. So now what we're going to do, we've typed in training manager on LinkedIn because we want to find anyone who has training manager in their title. And what we're also going to do is we're going to target the company. So you go over here to all filters, scroll down. You could also type in the location if you wanted, but I just want to find any training manager from Rio Tinto, big company. So you go here, current company, and you go add a company. Let's say Rio Tinto. So what we're now looking for is anyone who has the title training manager and currently works at Rio Tinto, because that's who we're going to pitch to. We then go show results. All we're doing here, so when I showed you yesterday about connecting with people and sending that personalized note, what we are doing here is getting the names of key decision makers to get their email address. It's total stalker stuff. Totally legal, and it works. We're trying to find out who we need to talk to in a big company. So let's have a look. Tim McDonald here, he's a general manager of human resources at Rio Tinto currently. I want to get his email address to pitch to him. So what I do, all you simply need to do is open up the Rio Tinto website. Let's bring it up here. All you have to do is have the company website open. What's his name again? Tim McDonald with the MAC. So you go up here, you click on the Google Chrome extension, like this, and this is what it looks like. So you can see I've only used 2 searches already. So it's going to give you the general email address here, but you can actually click on here, find by name, and let's type in Tim McDonald's name. Boom. There is his specific email for this guy here. Just for interest's sake, we'll do this guy as well now, Jonathan Rose. But remember, you're going to have his email. You know that's going to be the same sort of email format. But let's just do it again. Hold on, was it Jonathan with AN? Yep. Click on here. It was Rose. Yep, there we go. And that's his email. So if you're looking for Jamie Abbott at Rio Tinto, it'd be jamie.abbott. Sometimes they do have variants. I've seen with Commonwealth Bank, some are CommBank and some are CBA, depending on when they came into the company. Show me, and write into the chat if this blows your mind. I'd love to know how you're feeling right now and how excited you are right now. It's very, very cool, and it will work for any company. So you can do the same thing. So once again, you type in COO. Yeah, we target COOs all the time, Shara. Great question. So you could type in here CEO, so Chief Executive Officer, Admin Officer. Now, yeah, I'm loving how everyone is loving this. Mind explosion. So just to take it up a level, so it's good how you do this, but we are talking mass pitching. So what I actually have is I have a Trello board. Let me just bring it up. I use Trello all the time, the free version. So we use this is like a project management tool, and I use it for everything from my social media planning to my tasking for my VA. So I'm just going to bring this up here. We got corporate contacts. So we actually have an entire board where we go through and we write down the information. Yeah, absolutely. So you're relying on, but you know, executives are pretty good like this in updating their LinkedIn information on their where they currently are. Or if you email that person and they're no longer there, you might get an out of office and they'll say contact this person instead, but that doesn't happen very often. And so what we have done, we go through and we look at these companies. So we will go through we target big companies. You could target smaller ones if you wanted to. And so here, Commonwealth Bank, what we do, we click on that. And so my VA, Shira, who's on the call today, she'll go through and write down a list of executive assistants, training and development, training specialists, HR management, HR consultant, HR advisor, CEO. And then we go through. Now, we don't mass pitch at once. We might do a couple. And as we go through them, we'll just tick them off before we go through the entire list. Because if you're sending it en masse, they might be sitting next to each other and they know that they've been spammed or something. And we just find that we get much better value if we just do a couple at a time. Oh, that just reset on me there. So we are constantly going through, and then these are the ones that we're now targeting at the moment. So you can see we're going through big companies once again, and same thing, we're going through. What we then do, this is so for those of you who are going, no, I have the free version of Trello, never paid for it. So I have 10. The 10 is the maximum, I think, of boards, but yeah, we've never upgraded. Totally, the free version's totally fine. Some things I do encourage you to upgrade, don't need to with Trello at all. Yeah, she's the sister of He-Man. Yeah, hold on, that was She-Ra. Yeah, no, this is Shira. I used to watch She-Ra. That's why I knew that. So yes, so Trello. It's a free version there. So what we do, so let's just say we wanted to target your BP. So what you're going to do, for those of you who are going into Pay to Speak by 6 p.m., you're going to get this corporate proposal template. And just to personalize it to the company, what we do is we send a separate one with their logo on all these different businesses. So when you're going to get a copy of this generic template, and you're going to get a copy of the actual Macquarie Group one, which I use to successfully pitch the paid version of Troll. Yeah, I knew what you meant straight away. Don't worry. So what you do, so let's just say you want to turn this into we'll just go with the Macquarie one, a BP training proposal. So we want to send this to BP. What we do is we will go onto BP's website, because I want to make it in their colors. I just find this is really great to really personalize it. This is next level, but for those of you who are going to the course, you'll have all this. I want to get the same green that BP uses. So where is a good, actually, keeps resetting. I want to get that green. That's the BP green, right? So I have another a Google Chrome extension called Color Dropper. And so what I do is you just click on it here, Color Dropper. And when you click on that, it gives you this little cross. All you have to do is hover that over the exact color you want. So you can see on the top right, it's giving you like a little hex code. So you can hover over any color and it's going to copy that exact color. So what we do is we go onto the logos. So over BP's logo there to get the exact green. When we've found it, we go click. Then we go back into our template, which you will have access to. Click on the colors here. Why isn't it giving me the option? Canva has just changed. Go. Why is it changed here? I just upgraded. I don't know if those of you got the new Canva, but I just upgraded it it came up with that, the first 1 million people or something to upgrade. Here we go. Okay, it's on the right side. Normally it's on the left side. So you click on here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go Control V, and it's copying that exact color from BP. Click on that here, and then go Change All. And so then all through the document, it's in BP's colors. So cool. And then we'll just put BP's logo there as well, and we'll make our language. So you can see what we actually do is we go onto the website of the company and look at their vision and mission, and we kind of regurgitate that to be able to pitch to them. So we'll say, so for example, at Macquarie Group, that we went and got their exact purpose to empower people to innovate and invest, and we've used their same language when we're pitching to them, and then talked about different topics, and the more personal you can get, the better. So that's what we do. In fact, if I even type in, just to show you how much we use this, if I go public speaking training proposal, there's probably hundreds, all the different companies we have used. Oops. Back here. We've used this now for 2 years straight, my VA and I, and not changing it because we get a lot of clients through this process. I should credit one of my business coaches, Sarah Cordner, for first teaching me about this actually, because it just blew my mind and it's made me a lot of money. So you can see all the ones we've done here. There's Qantas, Aristocrat. So we've changed the photos sometimes. Look at them all. Optus, Xero, Jetstar, Foxtel, all in their particular colours. If the colours are different, like JB Hi-Fi, I can see it's different. It's because I've used this as a demonstration. Commonwealth Banks, all different. There's hundreds. I can keep going. So yeah, we do this for every single company we're pitching to. And for those of you who are getting colour, I just saw the colour drop from Shira. If those of you who are getting paid to speak, you'll have this full template available to you, and you can just copy and paste the information and drag and drop that colour. So that is very exciting, and this is what we do all the time. So that brings me to the end of that little section. So once again, paid to speak, the doors are open at the moment. I will just paste the link actually for those of you who do want, because there's a specific Speak and Earn Challenges bonus page. So I'll post that into the chat. And you've got until just 6 p.m. The doors are open until Tuesday next week. But for those of you who are on the challenge, you've got the exclusive bonus by 6 p.m. Sydney time, Australian Eastern Standard Time, to get that corporate training, those 2 proposal templates, the blank one, as well as the Macquarie Group one that I did. There's stacks of, those who missed it yesterday, there's stacks of videos, over 60 videos. You get lifetime access to about 12 planners, and they range from 30 pages to 60 pages. You get 12 months access. So if you're too busy right now, and I know a lot of you are coming up to the end of the financial year, you get 12-month access to the course, plus lifetime access to all the planners. So when you get the course, download those planners, those PDFs, put them onto a drive somewhere, and then you can just use those forever. You get 12 months access, you get all the different modules, everything from how much to charge, how to find the gigs, you get over 1,000 media contacts, you get every single state and federal government department. Some departments are changing, so I know some used to be called Department of Planning, Industry and Environment, and then it was Department of Planning and Environment, and now it's changed again. So that's happening all the time in every state, but it'll give you a really great list of where to go. You get all the Speaker Bureau contacts as well. I've thrown in all the Canva templates for your 4-page bio, 6-page bio. You've got speaker agreement templates. You've got press release templates, media pitch guides, podcast scripts, everything you need. And I know some of you who've jumped in, there's a lot of content there. So take your time, download the Kajabi app, just watch the videos on the run, listen to them in the car when you're at the gym, absorb as much as you can. And then 4 weeks in, we also have a live group coaching session, which is an opportunity for you to ask any questions about, the course or your individual topics and your pitching and all that, and how much you should charge for different things as well. Number one questions. These are all the planners that you get. 12 months, lifetime access to these. And it's just kind of everything that I've put together, I think a speaker needs. Your photo shoot plan, all the different photo shoot poses that you need, your money-making sales page. Even for those of you who want to do some coaching packages, you've got that in there as well, because a lot of speakers get asked, can I be coached by you? Or can I have a session with you just to rack your brain? How, step-by-step scripts on how to get paid what you're worth and how to really back yourself. And there's the self-care planner. So I'm very big on that as well. So you get all of that, and it's $279 a month, which most people do a month for 6 months, or upfront it's a little bit cheaper, $14.97 as well. So yeah, there's the price there, and it's got everything on where to find the opportunities, contacts, the PR and marketing, the podcasts, all your toolkits, drag and drop templates. There's nothing, you don't have to go and do anything from scratch. It's all there for you as templates. And I guess you do get lifetime access to the Canva templates, because as soon as you download them to your Canva, they're on your Canva forever. All right, that brings me to the end. I didn't go too much over time. Got opportunity for questions. Let me just catch up on the chat. If I missed anything, just write question in the chat, and I'll come back to you. I don't use Jira. No, we just use Trello. Yeah, keep it nice and simple. I've tried others. I've tried Monday.com. I've tried Asana. And yeah, we just love Trello. It just works so easy on our phone, and we're just used to it now as well. How often do I refresh my image headstock stock? Every 6 months, at least. Sometimes when I'm doing a speaking gig, like I did one on the Gold Coast a couple of weeks ago, I had a photo shoot thrown in. That was an extra one. Can't have enough really, because the more you have, the better, especially for social media. And I think organic social media is just the number one marketing tool you can have. And the more photos you have, the better. So yeah, every 6 months I usually do them for the new courses for Paid to Speak. But then this one was from last course. I'll use them in PowerPoint presentation. Sorry, I stopped showing my screen, but the last one I had, basically was, questions and just me doing this, all different poses, pointing up, pointing to the side, things that you can use for social media and insert text next to as well. How often do I follow up with sending my pitch? Great question, Mel, because a lot of the securing of clients comes in the follow-up, because you send that initial email and then people get busy and forget about it. I know I get 500 emails a day combined with all my different, things that I'm involved in, and I miss things. It's the follow-up which keeps you front of mind. I usually follow up 1 to 2 weeks later. And on the first day, when we went through our speaker toolkit, we talked about our speaker page. And when people want to access your bio, so for those who are going into Paid to Speak, your 4-page bio, which is what I recommend to pitch to and have as your speaker kit. But for those just starting out, you could have your 1 sheet on there. You want people to opt in with their email address to be able to get the speaker kit. And then it's automated. When they download my speaker kit, they get an automated follow-ups. It's been a week or 2 weeks or 5 days or 3 days, however long you want to set it, since you downloaded my speaker bio, just wondering how your search is going for a speaker, but I would just touch base, that sort of thing. So, and that's where a lot of people, because they were searching for a lot of speakers at once and then they got busy, they forgot about you. It's that follow-up, which is they're often like, great timing, actually. I, was looking for a speaker and I forgot about it. I got sidetracked. I'm really glad you've got in touch. Often, admin assistants, PAs have been tasked with finding a speaker. They don't know where to start and they just want to make their life easier because they're very, very busy. You fall literally into their lap and they're like, great, this person sounds fantastic as a speaker. And that's often how you get it, being in the right place at the right time. Going back down here, I haven't missed any here. So that question. Federal government department names and functions change fairly regularly as well. Yeah, they do. I feel like state governments change more often, but they shouldn't, because state governments are every 4 years generally, and federal governments generally every 3 years. But yeah, absolutely. So we're giving you the current list, but it can change at any time. But you can still type it in and you'll get the latest name if they've merged or they've demerged. The group calls in the program, so just a 1 group call that's held 4 weeks in. So I think it's the 4th of July. It's being held, and that'll be just an all-in Zoom. It's recorded as well, so you can submit your questions beforehand. And it's just the 4 weeks in, because I find people either haven't looked at the course yet and it's just that prompt, or they have, and after 4 weeks they've got a lot of questions. So it really is a great timeline to do that. Great. So missed that follow-up window. Did you say follow up after a month? Yeah, I've kind of played around with it some. So often, I think at the moment our follow-up email is sent 5 days after, but I've tried it 3 days after. I've tried it 2 weeks later. I've tried 2 follow-ups as well. So with my Kajabi marketing system, so you download my speaker kit and enter your email address on my speaker page. You get a follow-up 3 days, and you might get another one 2 weeks later, because they might be looking for an event really far out and they haven't made a decision yet. So that could be really, really powerful as well. But what works for me might be different what works for you, depending on your target market, your area of expertise in the industry. I open the course twice a year, so June and November is when Paid to Speak opens, and it'll be open. The doors will be open until next Tuesday at 11 p.m. Let me just double check what time the course is for you. So the group coaching call, I've got it in it's Thursday, the 4th of July. At least I have the date right, at 10 a.m. Sydney time. So 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on the 4th of July. If you can't make it though, it's recorded. So you can just send me all your questions beforehand and I will answer them on the call. It's always good to show up live as well. So it's Thursday, the 4th of July, Tim. Yeah, because you've bought the course, so I'll see you on that date for sure. do I find any value in the database? That's not something that I have used, but we've got our own little system that we actually pay. I pay a PR agency to give me the latest media contacts because they're changing daily. Journalists change, they leave their jobs. So we just kind of pay a PR agency to give me the latest list for, it used to be the Bible. Yeah, I've used it when I worked for Department of Defence, actually. We used that, Margaret G's media. I haven't used it for many years. I've even forgot about it. Just the course, yes. The course has a whole component on how to come up with your topics, how to really make it a winning keynote topic that's really going to, make people's ears prick up and make people pay attention and really want to book you as a speaker. I use Kajabi as my CRM for everything. So I put that into the chat, a little affiliate link. You get a trial. I can repost it if you like, but I use it for my courses, for my website, my podcast, my email marketing. It's just like, for me, it's what everything I need is an all-in-one. I absolutely love it. And then also I love it for my students. So if you buy Paid to Speak, you can watch it all on the app. And I just love how user-friendly it is as well. The videos, everything you can watch on the app. Do you also add the people you pitch to on LinkedIn? Yeah, I can, but we generally will just go through and do all the CEOs, all the COOs. My VA will do that separately just to connect with. And then we will just do this when we're sending the corporate proposals and we target companies as a whole. So we'll go through and just target all CEOs or all general managers to connect with them. And then when we're targeting and getting their names and emails, we just try and do it really quickly. It's more about targeting the whole company. So all the different people who have that title in a company. All right. So I can see a few people with their hand up. Hannah, do you want to unmute and ask a question? In the meantime, just type into the chat the word question and you can unmute it and ask a question if you like. But Hannah, you go first.
So, Jamie, thank you very much. The presentation was awesome. And just wondering, I haven't got my presentation yet. How much is in the course regarding doing your presentation?
Yeah, so there's like a lot, like pretty much most of the course is really focused on that. Not only how to come up with your topics, how to pitch your topic, who to target for your topic, but there's a whole section on putting it all together. So mastering that message, the structure of your presentation as well, how to open it. And on the live coaching, I try and cover things that aren't in the course. So I'll cover a lot more AI and specifically, when you walk out on stage, here's your first 60 seconds. And then what I need you to do throughout the presentation are these engagement strategies. I do that generally during the live call because I can really tailor it for the people on the call. But most I've had on a call, I think, because we had the most amount of people last time, we had 44 people in the course, but not everyone shows up to the live. I think we had about 20 people on the call. It might go over a little bit, over an hour, but that's the opportunity for me to really just delve in. But often by that time, if you're wanting to go, you get all the content straight away. Even if you pay the $279 a month for 6 months, you get all the content straight up. Usually you've got a fair idea by that live group coaching session of your topic and what direction you want to head. And we just kind of thrash it out a bit more in that live coaching session. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And thanks for being here for all 3 days as well. Oh, you're welcome, Tim. Thank you. And thanks for joining the course. Looking forward to working with you inside Paid to Speak. I'll just go into Lawrence's here. I have one question. I have done some of my speaking at schools, but I got no websites yet. Now that I want to focus on keynote speaker outside of school, should I create 2 one-sheets for all? Look, I think you can create 2 one-sheets if you have 2 different audiences. And I've got someone inside PR Club. He was also a Paid to Speak student. He went into my membership. So my membership PR Club is every single month we run a different topic and you get live coaching with me. And we also have a private Facebook group as well. So half the PR Club members have come from Paid to Speak and they just want that ongoing coaching with me. And we've got one guy in there and he's a comedian as well as also in the mental health counselor space. So completely different industries. But it's a lot of work if you want to have 2 different ones. So if I was you, I would just go for it as a keynote speaker outside of schools. And that's where the money is. It's where the corporates are going to be. And I would just, focus. You've only got a certain amount of hours and energy. I would focus all your attention on that for now and see how you go. If I have a GoDaddy website, can you integrate? Yeah, I mean, I just use Kajabi to do my website. I have GoDaddy to buy domains and things like that. But yeah, you can just, Kajabi, you set the website up and you can use templates and all that sort of thing inside Kajabi. So I don't think you can integrate it, but you could then transfer it over using all the same content and all that sort of stuff. I'm not an amazing tech expert, but I set my website up myself just thanks to templates that I bought, and I've done lots and lots of YouTube videos as well. It wasn't easy at first, but now I love it. A separate Facebook speaker page, is that right? Is that for Facebook, I think? El-Marie, do you just want to unmute and clarify that question if you can?
Hi, thank you. Yes. Sorry, I just want to know, I've got a private Facebook group. Should I have a speaker Facebook group as well?
Look, I think if you can, it's a matter of getting exposure to as many people as possible. So I would. I have a Jamie Abbott public page and I have a Facebook group with 600 people and it's called PR and Public Speaking for Professionals. I just think there's different people who follow me on the page to who will be in the group. So if you can do it and you can get a social media scheduler or you can schedule the posts in Meta, I would. It's a bit of extra work, so depending on how limited you are with time, but there's many cross-platform, cross-pages and groups that you can do, the better, I think. Because it's just, some people say stick to one platform, but I just think there are people on Instagram who aren't on LinkedIn and people on LinkedIn who aren't on my Instagram. So I try and do as many as I can, including the group and the page. So thank you. It's just Kajabi. It's just what I use there. So I'll just put the link up. I think I shared it in the Facebook group. Yeah, I mean, it's not cheap though, but I just kind of bit the bullet in the beginning and got it. I think I did the monthly plan, but it's cheaper if you go annually, and set all my course up on that. Just because I personally, as a student, I will only buy courses if the course creator uses Kajabi. On my Kajabi, I've got all these different courses that I just have because I just love the user friendliness of it. And I don't like having to go to a different platform and log in and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I like the user experience of it. And now I've got my podcast and I just do it all myself. By just uploading it. Shira, my VA, uploads on my podcast, but I do it all myself. And I just find it really, really easy on Kajabi. Let me post into the chat here my link. It's an affiliate link as well. And I think you get a 14-day trial. You're welcome, Chris. Thanks so much for coming along. You're welcome, Lawrence. Thank you. The schedule is on 4th of July at 10 a.m. Sydney time. We're going to do that live group coaching session inside Pay to Speak as well. Alwyn, did you want to ask a question?
Yes, thank you. I've got a very exciting gig tomorrow, which is speaking on stage with Vince Vaughn. I've got 7 minutes in front of about 3,000 people. I'm speaking about how to build a global brand. So any tips about how to make an impact in 7 minutes in front of a huge crowd on that topic?
What's the topic, sorry, Alban?
How to build a global brand.
Wow. And who's in the audience? Who are these people going to be?
There's going to be a lot of business people. I'd say it'd be, I don't know what industry, I'd say all sorts of industries, 3,000 people, probably into personal development too, because there's going to be a lot of wealth creation strategies and business tips and brand, a lot of branding information from other speakers as well, because it's a JT Fox event who's all about branding. So he'll be talking about celebrity branding and things like that. So, so 7 minutes, and I'm a little bit nervous about it, even though I've done a lot of public speaking, but I've got this nervousness happening, and I'm thinking, oh gosh, how to really make a great impact in 7 minutes.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you're a Pay to Speak member, so go into Module 6 and just have a look at some of those quick videos about the nerves and fears and really managing it with impact and presenting with purpose. That's a real challenge, 7 minutes. Are you allowed to pitch at all, or is it a paid gig?
No pitching. No pitching. So you can just say to people, I'm at the back of the room. So
can you give away a lead magnet or anything? Like, can you sort of say, if, he's a free guide?
No.
I can't do that. Yeah, it's just an opportunity to get in front of them. Yeah, fair enough. Wow. I mean, I would just go for the top one message. What's your one? You're a media expert. What's your one message that you want to leave them with? You don't even really have time to focus on three. I always say 3 main messages, but in 7 minutes, I would just pick your top. When people leave the event that day, what's the one thing they want to remember that Alban said? And I would just really focus on that. Open with it, have some examples. Maybe let's see a show of hands, or a couple of engaging things. Everyone get a pen and paper. I'm going to tell you something really important. Get your pen and paper ready. Are you ready? And then get them to write it down. So that's a really great way for them to remember as well. And then maybe tell a story in there. People love stories, or you could end on a story and then end on your call to action, which is back to that one main message. And that's how I would structure a 7-minute, but that's tough.
Yeah. And would you use any slides?
Yeah, I still would, just because people learn differently, and you're covering the visual learners that way to complement what you're saying, but only a couple with some cool pictures on there. No time for a video, really. Unless you've got a 30-second one, but it's going to take up some time. But you could, if you've got a video, but otherwise just a couple of slides with just simple words on it, a couple of simple images to complement it, and it'll be over before you know it.
How many slides would you say for 7 minutes?
Depends how quickly you go through them. Like, you could go through 20 if you just bang, what about this? Or this? Yeah. What about this one? Like that sort of stuff, you can slide through them. I love those types of presentations, really. Who prefers this one? What about this one? I just love that. Fast, because I've got a short attention span. So, but I wouldn't want to bog it down with too much text or anything like that. You just want your one message to be clear. Have fun with that.
Awesome. Thank you. Very exciting. Thanks for today. That was brilliant.
Thank you. Thanks for being a Paid to Speak member as well. Thanks for all the lovely messages coming in, Diana, Kate, Greg. I'm so glad that you've given up your time to be here. I'm looking forward to seeing so many of you coming into Paid to Speak so we can work further on your speaking goals. It really is. I'm really proud of the course because of the results, and you'll see some of the testimonials that I've been rolling out, and more to come in the next couple of days of just the money people are making. I think I posted one in the Facebook group today of someone who did the last course. She got a $7,000 gig straight away as well, and she focuses on sort of child protection and online dangers, cyber dangers, and all that sort of thing. But no matter what your area of expertise is, there are speaking opportunities for you, and I'm really, really passionate about that. Having learned the hard way that you shouldn't give your knowledge away for free or for little amounts. So, let's draw a line in the sand from this week and start backing yourself. And I hope to take that to the next level with so many of you for public speaking. So thank you so much, everyone. I'm about to pack up my monitor, put it in a suitcase, and get ready to head back to Australia. I've got 3 flights, Miami, LA, Sydney, and I'll get back to Australia on Friday morning. But I'm so looking forward to getting back. And thanks again for all your company. And Beck, I'll talk to you on the phone if you like. I'm sure my Facebook friend, I'll have a chat to you afterwards. So yeah, thanks for asking. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm loving these messages. I want to keep reading them. But yes, use the Facebook group. It'll be open up until Tuesday. The recording will go up until Monday if you want to check back on anything. And I'll see you inside Paid to Speak up until 6 p.m. today to get that corporate training proposal template. Thank you again, everyone. Good luck, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.